right? Obviously, I lead off the gas, I hit the brake, and I'm going into a skid. Wow. Buenos dias, ¿qué pasó, amigos? John's Moto Garage. We did it. We made it back in one piece. We got the old steed back to the stable, and super stoked. I had a complete blast. Big shout out and huge thank you to everybody for the well wishes, safe travels, just for the support in general. Thanks a bunch. Huge shout out to Thorn, the OG owner on this bike, who put his heart and soul into it and clearly set up one of the dopest lowrider S Dynas to roll on two wheels, that's for sure. I know it wasn't easy letting go of the bike. Huge shout out to Connor FXDB again for showing me Austin and meeting up with me, taking me into some of the cool spots. The dude is hilarious, super cool guy, cooler in person than he is in his videos. I didn't even think it was possible, man, but shout out to you as well. Obviously the bike's a little bit dirty. I hit a few bugs, ran into a couple bugs on the way. So one thing I wanted to throw out there, I had a really close call on this bike heading back, and it happened not too far out of Austin. So real briefly, I'll go over that. Now I'll tell you right off the bat, I did not get the close call on the GoPro. It was dark out, my battery was dead, so I wasn't running the GoPro. But it's more the what we can learn from the experience.
What's up, you guys? John's Moto Garage. I'm out here in the middle of nowhere in Texas. It's dark out, I'm cruising. I see a couple deers out on the side of the road, and I'm thinking, okay, just keep an eye out. Deer runs out right in front of me. I saw it, like our eyes freaking locked. I said, don't you freaking think about it, dude. And he looks at me and says, oh yeah, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, so it's about 10 o'clock Arizona time. I'm gonna try and get another Red Bull. But it was freaking nuts. I'm out there mobbing. This was a couple hours ago. I'm out cruising and I noticed some deer on the side of the road, and I'm thinking I should slow down, but I don't. And then a few minutes later, I kid you not, a deer runs right out in front of me, and I freaking slam on my brakes, go into a skid, and then I came up and kind of stood up on the pegs, and bam, hit right into the deer. Reality check right there for sure. Super gnarly.
So here's what happened. I was right outside of Austin. I was just rolling off of Google's recommendations, and it took me kind of out on some back roads, which were super beautiful, scenic route, but I was riding at night, and night riding is always dangerous. I was rolling through some curvy, twisty areas. Speed limit was 75. I was probably cruising about 70, just getting comfortable on the bike, and it was at night. I didn't see any signs for watch out for deer. However, I noticed a couple deer out there, and that should have been my first red flag. Slow down, bro, slow down. But I remember thinking, oh, they're kind of out there on the side. I'll just keep mashing through and get through this little stretch. I see a deer a little ways ahead, off to the side, and it turns and it's like looking at me. And I swear, it's like our eyes locked, you know, like we met in that stare. And it's like the deer was looking into my soul and could read my thoughts as I'm sitting there thinking, dude, don't you dare even think about it, man. Do not even think about it. And no sooner than I'm thinking that, the deer looks at me, like I said, he's staring at me, and he freaking takes off. Now, not only is he taking off into the road, he freaking beelines it, and it's like he's heading straight towards me. I don't know if any of you have ever been in this type of situation. Anybody who's been in an accident before, you know, it's almost like it's too fast to act. You do what's instinctual, and that's all you can do. If you know how to do it, you do. If you don't, you're screwed. So what do? Of course, I get on the brakes, ABS delete on this, thing goes into a little bit of skid as I expect. Luckily, all those skids on the Dyna have taught me somewhat to pulsate that rear brake even without ABS. So I'm going into a skid nonetheless. That deer is coming straight for me. In that moment, I'm not thinking I'm gonna die, but I am thinking, dude, this is it, man. This is the end of the line for the lowrider S. No sooner did I get this in my hands that I'm already saying goodbye, or at least laying it down. I swear that's what's going through my mind. As I'm in a skid, here, hopefully you can see okay. So I'm on the bike, I see the deer sees me, and decides to come up into the road. I'm cruising like 70, right? Obviously, I lead off the gas, I hit the brake, and I'm going into a skid, and as the deer's coming up, I got this big windshield here, and I remember thinking, okay, I'm gonna hit this thing, and it's throwing me off the bike. The bike's going down because a deer is a big animal. So I basically go up like this, stand up like this. I don't know why I did that. Maybe it's my, riding BMX, where when you're gonna hit something, you kind of like go to absorb the impact. But I stand up like this, hit the deer. I hit probably the rear quarter end of the deer. Bam, big thump, boom. Hit the deer, and I keep moving. It didn't the bike didn't even flinch other than the thump. Initially I'm thinking, oh, crap, dude, it probably tore up the fairing, the front fender, all that stuff.
So dirty. Luckily I basically got away unscathed, but super sketchy, guys, so just ride safe out there.
So of course I slow down and pull off to the side of the road. The crazy thing is, as soon as I realized I'm okay, I didn't lay the bike down or anything, the first thing I'm thinking is, dude, I feel freaking horrible for running into that deer. As crazy as it sounds, because it's like an innocent animal, they're just doing their thing, and how can I circle around? I can't find the deer. I'm expecting it to be laying on the ground, wounded, injured, or hurt, if not dying. I don't see the deer anywhere. I hear a car coming up, so I make sure I'm pulled off to the side, and the car comes speeding by, and then I look, and the deer is a little ways off, back by a fence, and it's just staring me down. Almost like, dude, I hope you learned your lesson type thing, you know what I mean? And I took my brights and I flashed the deer a couple times, trying to get it to run off. And it was almost like a movie, I look back, and then I look to where the deer was, and it's gone. All right, that may be a little bit of an exaggeration. I saw the deer run off, but basically, what can we take away from this experience? For one, follow your instinct, man. If you see something and you have the thought, maybe I should slow down, maybe I'm pushing it, maybe this isn't a good idea, go with that gut instinct. I should have slowed down the second I saw those deer on the side of the road. I should have done it. Another good one, be very careful out there doing the night riding.
And anyway, needless to say, now I'm going about 5 miles an hour. 50 miles an hour, but super sketchy.
Needless to say, from that point on, through the rest of that stretch, I was cruising 40, 45, dude. It took me forever to get through there. I would have had that iron butt challenge done way sooner had I not gone that route. Because I realized, dude, it could happen to anybody at any time. Yeah, just take it easy, be careful. I was out there, emotions running high, stoked to be on my new bike, set on getting home back to the family, and one split second could have changed it all, and it came very close to changing it all. It's a dangerous game for sure. Would that have taken me out completely? Probably not. Would it have caused some major harm to the bike? Absolutely. Would it have been a complete drag? For sure. Another takeaway lesson, dude, keep that GoPro running, man. Carry it back batteries. That's almost the biggest bummer, is that I didn't get it on GoPro. To have had it happen and not catch it on the GoPro was the ultimate drag. The ultimate drag. Yeah, there you have it. I ran into a deer. I hit a deer head on. Well, rear quarter, hind part head on. You get the point. Yeah, I ran into the deer. Extremely relieved that the bike is intact, that I'm intact, more importantly. And to be honest, I'm glad the deer walked away from that one, presumably unharmed. All right, you guys, there you have it. Real quick, I'm gonna get this bike washed up. Stay tuned. Obviously, tons of more awesome videos to come with this moto. Don't worry if you're not a fan of this bike. I've got all my other bikes as well. We'll continue to do the typical stuff we do on John's Moto Garage and have a good time at it. If you dig the content, be sure to like and subscribe. I really do appreciate the support. John's Moto Garage, hasta luego. Nos vemos. But yeah, check it out over here. Aside from all the bugs, I don't think it did anything. So the deer hit the tire and the rest was good. Man, that would have been a big drag. The biggest drag would have been causing any harm to this beautiful bike here, for sure. And to the deer. I think I would have come third on that list of priorities. So Ride safe out there, you guys. Nos vemos.
But I think these two are a little bit more in the same wheelhouse. People do wheelies on these, and people definitely do wheelies on the lowriders. And quite frankly, I just want to see how cool that bike looks being ridden. It's just like such a fun bike, man.